Today we're having a go at replacing the clock spring on the 2006 Infiniti QX56. I say having a go at it because this is my first time doing this on this particular vehicle. I just love working on a car that has been well kept. I mean, look at this car, 2006. It is clean on the inside and outside. Engine compartment a little dusty, but it's still clean compared to others I've seen. Now we're going to start off by disconnecting the batteries. First, disconnect the negative side to prevent any sparking, and once you've disconnected that, disconnect the positive side. Okay, on this vehicle it's done by using a 10mm wrench or socket. I've already done that. Now once you've done that, you want to wait for about 5 minutes so any charge that's held in the system, in capacitors or whatever, will dissipate. All right, because you do not want to deploy this airbag, the steering wheel airbag. Now to remove this, there are 2 screws. 10mm socket will do, up in this hole. Now in this hole was covered with this little plug, which you can use your fingernail or a tiny screwdriver to pry it out. If you're using a screwdriver, be careful not to scrape or scratch the cover or housing. Okay, the clock spring comes with the the turn signal and the headlight switches attached also. And now I've done this. I've taken out the 2 screws. You can employ a little magnet if you wish, something like that. I'm kind of made this up. This is actually a screw starter on the other end and a magnet on this end. In case the screw drop down in here when you take it out, but that's not necessary to use a magnet, because once you pull this cover off, you'll be able to access to pick the screws out of it. Now once that is done, wiggle this around and pull this out, but gently, because the wires back here are not very long. All right, you don't want to damage anything. And there's also a ground wire, this little green one here that was attached. Let me see if I can find that spot right here on the side. Remove that. Never pull on the wire itself, always pull on the end. Okay, you don't want to damage any wire, any plugs that you're pulling off. Even at home, when you're pulling your plugs out of the wall, grab onto the end that actually plugs in and pull it out. Now on top of here, you will see these are different colors, and they only fit where they're supposed to go. Okay, you can't put them in the wrong hole. Now what you need to do is this little black piece here on top, get a tiny screwdriver, slide it under there gently and lift it on each one. Now these here, the black pieces, is what locks these 2 in place. So you want to unlock them first before you pull the plug out. If you force it out, you might damage something. But remember, wait 5 minutes or more to give any charge that's stored in any area of the car to dissipate. Okay, I've already popped these up simply by using a small flat blade screwdriver and prying this up. Okay, trying to do it through the camera instead of looking at what I'm doing. All right, just stick it right underneath there and pry it out. I prefer to go in the back side of it rather than here, because on the front you have those 2 little, I don't know if you can see them, there's 2 little pieces sticking down, and you might break those right here in the front. Okay, right there, there's 2 little pieces So go from the back side of it, from back here, and lift them up. Once you've done that, this should come out nice and easy. Sorry about all the movement of the camera. Nice and easy. Okay, remember again, I'm doing this with one hand, so it's not easy to be really steady. Okay, next move here is we have to remove this 19mm nut. Here, get yourself a socket, a ratchet, and an extension. All right, preferably 6-inch extension with a 1/2-inch ratchet. You can use anything but a 1/4 inch. 3/8 ratchet set with the extension will work fine. All right, and break this loose. Hold the steering wheel as you turn. Okay, the wheel will lock. You can, loosen it with the wheel locked, but I like to also try and hold the wheel as I do that, so not to put any pressure on the lock, not as if you would damage the wheel lock. Okay, with the nut loose, I don't show you all these stages of loosening, working a ratchet and working a wrench, because I'm pretty sure all of you know how to use a ratchet and a wrench and sockets and the regular basic tools. All right, so once that's loosened, don't take the nut all the way off. If you have a wheel puller, you can use that. And if you have a wheel puller, I think most of you know how to use it. But if you don't have one, this is what I will do. You leave the nut on, you kind of slap the wheel from this side, again from that side, and give it a few good hits on either side. You grab it on the side, right hand here, left hand here, but since I'm videotaping, I can't show you. And then you wiggle right and left, back and forth. You want to leave the nut on, so if it comes off suddenly, it don't come and hit you in the face. All right, and you keep wiggling it. I'll use my knee. I've already loosened it. Now, see that? Nice and loose. Take the nut off. Pull the wheel gently. All right, I'm gonna put this back on because you have wires that's running through here, right? And the wheel will not come off like that, so you have to disconnect and pull this plug out. Now on the side of the plug right here, there's a little tab you push in and pull to release. So I will do that. Let's see if I can do it while I'm videotaping. No, I'm having problems. But I will take it off and then show you. One of the things I like to do before removing the wheel is to get a marker and mark right here, anywhere on the little post and against the wheel, the inside flange of the wheel. All right, so let me show you here with that little mark here and the mark down here on the steering wheel. I will have a fair idea of how to center this wheel back on here. All right, then with that plug out, this right here, right in here, if the little tab, you have to press down. Okay, by using, it's easier to use a flat blade, a tiny flat blade screwdriver to press it while it's down in the hole here, and then pull it out. If you have big fat fingers like I do, and don't look at the bruise on my thumb, have a big fat fingers like I do, it's kind of hard to get down in there and depress that, so use a screwdriver. Once you pull that out, because this part here is attached to the wheel, all right, then you can gently pull the wheel out. Okay, making sure the wires are not caught. See the 2 wires for the airbag? Once you do that, set the wheel out of the way, and there go the top of the clock spring.